Look, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, wait, I make decent money. Where did it all go? Like, you didn't buy a car. You didn't book a luxury vacation. You didn't make some crazy investment. But somehow, your money just disappeared. And the scary part is this. It keeps happening. Month after month. Year after year. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you're not alone. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people don't become poor because they don't earn enough. They become poor because of habits they don't even realize are hurting them. And today, we're going to talk about those habits in this part. Watch patiently as we also teach you 10 best solutions to breaking these poor habits. My name is Bold, and I spend way too much time thinking about money. And if you're someone who's hoping to know about financial habits that make you poor and 10 best solutions to breaking them, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now, let's get into it. Because some of what I'm about to say might make you uncomfortable. But that's a good thing. Here's the thing. Most financial advice online focuses on how to make more money. Side hustles. Investing. Passive income. And yeah, those things matter. But what almost nobody talks about is this. If your financial habits are broken, more money actually makes your life worse. You just spend faster. You stress more. And you stay stuck at a higher income level. This is why so many people earning $80,000 or $100,000 a year still live paycheck to paycheck. And no, that's not an exaggeration. Studies consistently show that over half of high-income earners still struggle with monthly cash flow. So let's break down the habits behind that. Habit 1. Living without intentional awareness of your money. Here's what most people don't realize. Not having a budget is not freedom. It's blindness. Most people don't know how much they spend monthly, where their money actually goes, what they could cut without pain. They just swipe, tap, auto-pay, and they assume things will work out. Now, you might be thinking, I know roughly where my money goes. No, you don't. Because when people finally track their spending for the first time, they're usually shocked. Let's say you earn $3,500 a month. You think your expenses look like this? Rent, $1,200. Food, $400. Transport, $300. Bills, $300. Cool. Plenty left, right? But when you actually track it, you find subscriptions you forgot about. Food delivery adding an extra $250. Random impulse purchases. Small daily expenses that quietly stack up. That missing money? It's death by 1,000 cuts. And financially speaking, that's dangerous. Habit 2. Lifestyle inflation that feels deserved. This is where it gets really interesting. Lifestyle inflation is when your spending rises every time your income rises. Raise at work? Upgrade the apartment. Bonus? New phone. New clothes. More nights out. And look, I get it. You worked hard. You deserve nice things. But here's the problem. Your lifestyle adjusts permanently. Your income increase is temporary. So now your baseline cost of living is higher. Here's a simple example. You earn $2,500 a month. You live fine. Then your income jumps to $3,500. Instead of saving the extra $1,000, you upgrade everything. Now your expenses rise to $3,400. Congratulations. You're broke again. Just at a higher income level. And psychologically, this is driven by reward justification. Your brain associates money with relief and validation, not security. Habit 3. Using debt to maintain appearances. Look, this one hurts. Using debt is not always bad. But using debt to look successful is one of the fastest ways to stay poor. Credit cards. Buy now, pay later. High-interest consumer loans. They create the illusion of wealth while stealing your future income. Let's talk numbers. If you carry $5,000 on a credit card at 24% interest and only make minimum payments, you could end up paying nearly double over time. That's money you already earned, gone. And here's the psychological trap. Debt removes pain from spending. When pain disappears, discipline disappears. So spending increases. Habit 4. Ignoring an emergency fund. Now, you might be thinking, I'll start saving when I earn more. No. That's backwards. Because without an emergency fund, every unexpected expense becomes a crisis. Car repair? Credit card? Medical bill? Loan? Job loss? Panic. Most financial experts agree that lack of emergency savings is one of the biggest predictors of financial instability. Even a small buffer changes everything. Not because it makes you rich, but because it prevents you from going backward. Habit 5. Confusing consumption with happiness. Here's what most people don't realize. Spending money feels good, briefly. But happiness from consumption fades fast. And your brain adapts. So you need more spending for the same emotional hit. This is called hedonic adaptation. It's why new purchases stop feeling special. And why people chase upgrades instead of stability. Meanwhile, long-term happiness comes from security, control, freedom from stress. And those come from savings, not stuff. Habit 6. Depending only on active income. Active income means you trade time for money. If you stop working, income stops. And while there's nothing wrong with active income, depending on it completely is risky. Because illness, burnout, layoffs, economic shifts all remove income instantly. This keeps people in survival mode. When you're always reacting, you can't plan. And financially, that's exhausting. Habit 7. Avoiding financial education. This one is subtle but dangerous. Many people avoid learning about money because it feels overwhelming. They say things like, I'm just not good with money. It's too complicated. I'll deal with it later. But money doesn't wait. And ignorance is expensive. Not knowing how interest works, how savings grow, or how spending compounds over time quietly locks people into financial stagnation. Habit 8. Short-term thinking. Here's the brutal truth. Most poor financial decisions feel good in the moment and bad later. Most good financial decisions feel uncomfortable now and amazing later. Poor habits prioritize comfort today over freedom tomorrow. And until that mindset flips, nothing else sticks. Now, if you're listening to this thinking, okay, yeah, that's me. Good. Awareness is the first step. Let's break down 10 clear, realistic solutions that directly fix these habits. Not theory. Not hype. Real steps you can apply immediately. And trust me, this is where things start to change. Solution 1. Create a simple money awareness system, not a complex budget. Here's what most people don't realize. The goal of budgeting is not control. It's awareness. Most people fail with budgets because they try to make them perfect. Spreadsheets, categories everywhere, tracking every single cent. That's exhausting. Instead, start with something simple. Here's an example. You earn $3,500 a month. Before you spend anything, you decide how much goes to fixed bills, How much is allowed for flexible spending? How much is saved automatically? That's it. Even just writing those 3 numbers down changes behavior. Because once money has a job, it stops disappearing. And psychologically, awareness activates discipline without force. Solution 2, pay your future self first. Now, you might be thinking, I'll save whatever's left at the end of the month. No, that's why saving never happens. Instead, flip the order. Savings first, spending second. Even if it's small. Let's say you save just $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year. Not life-changing instantly, but incredibly powerful over time. Because savings creates options. Options reduce stress. Stress reduction improves decision-making. This is why people with savings feel calmer, even at the same income. Solution 3, build a small emergency buffer first. Here's the thing. You don't need 6 months of expenses immediately. You need a buffer. Start with one goal. $1,000. That's it. Why? Because once you have a buffer, financial emergencies stop becoming emotional emergencies. Your car breaks down. You don't panic. A bill shows up. You don't reach for debt. And this changes everything. Because the biggest enemy of good financial decisions is stress. Solution 4. Set artificial limits on your lifestyle. This is where it gets really interesting. Most people think lifestyle inflation is automatic. It's not. It's optional. Here's how to stop it. Every time your income increases, you decide in advance. I will keep my lifestyle the same for the next 6 months. That gap between income and expenses? That's where wealth is built. And psychologically, delaying lifestyle upgrades weakens impulse spending. You train your brain to associate income increases with security, not consumption. Solution 5, use debt with rules or not at all. Look. Debt is a tool. But tools can hurt you if used wrong. So instead of saying no debt ever, set rules. For example, no debt for depreciating items. No debt for emotional spending. No debt unless it improves long-term income or stability. And if you already have high-interest debt, your priority becomes simple. Pay it down aggressively. Because mathematically, eliminating high-interest debt is one of the best guaranteed returns you can get. Solution 6, separate needs from wants, without guilt. Now, you might be thinking, so I'm not allowed to enjoy my money. That's not what this means. This means clarity. Needs keep you alive and functional. Wants improve quality of life. Both are fine. But confusion is expensive. When everything feels like a need, spending spirals. So do this instead. Pick 1 or 2 wants you genuinely enjoy. Spend on them intentionally. Cut the rest without guilt. Because intentional enjoyment beats unconscious spending every time. Solution 7, automate good decisions. Here's what most people don't realize. Willpower is unreliable. Systems are reliable. So automate as much as possible. Automatic savings. Automatic bill payments. Automatic investments when possible. This removes emotion from money. And when emotion leaves, consistency stays. This is how average earners quietly build strong financial foundations. Solution 8, start thinking in years, not months. Poor financial habits live in the present. Good financial habits live in the future. So change the question you ask. Instead of, can I afford this right now? Ask, what does this cost me over 5 years? That new phone upgrade might be $80 a month. But over 3 years? That's nearly $3,000. This long-term lens instantly changes priorities. Solution 9, increase income without increasing chaos. Now, income growth matters. But here's the mistake. People increase income without fixing habits. So they just spend more. Instead, tie income increases to goals. For example, this extra income goes only to savings or debt payoff. That way, progress becomes visible. Visible progress builds motivation. And motivation keeps habits alive. Solution 10. Shift your identity around money. This is the most important one. Because habits follow identity. If you see yourself as bad with money, your actions will match that belief. So change the story. You're not bad with money. You're learning how money works. You don't try to save. You are someone who saves. That shift sounds small. But it's powerful. Because identity-based habits stick. Let me say this clearly. You don't need to fix everything today. Start with awareness. Add one system. Build one buffer. Momentum will do the rest. Financial freedom isn't built through extreme discipline. It's built through consistent, boring, intelligent habits. Look. Your future doesn't care about your intentions. It responds to your habits. And the best time to fix those habits was years ago. The second best time? Right now. If this video helped you see money differently, subscribe to the channel.